Good morning, everyone. And we are here at a very special place for yet another episode of Small Town Big Stories on All About Belgaum, where we chronicle the success stories, the interesting people, things, places, food that happens in Belgaum. We are here on a very momentous occasion at the Sathe family's clinic in Kadolkar Galli. The Sathe family, which celebrates 100 years of their legacy of medical service in the city of Belagavi. In fact, there are 4 generations of the Sathes who are in this service, and today we are with 4 members of this illustrious family. We have with us today Dr. Uday Sathe, a pathologist, a very well-known name in the city of Belgaum. We also have with us Dr. Shashank Sathe, a very well-known doctor, professor, and a hiker also, I can say. We also have the next generation, that is the 4th generation of the Sathes, involving Dr. Varsha and Dr. Rahul, who are accomplished dentists. We are going to begin by asking Dr. Uday Sathe about this illustrious family and this very, very beautiful place that we are in here in Kadolkar Galli. Many people know the Sathes because of this place in Kadolkar Galli. Dr. Uday Sathe, I want to start with you.
Yes.
And I want to trace the legacy. I want to know how it all started.
Yes.
Who came to Belgaum? Where are you all from?
Basically, Sates belong to Belgaum.
Okay.
Because my grandfather's father, that is my great-grandfather, had a property in Belgaum in the lot of fields.
Okay.
And they used to stay in a place called Belagavi, which is about 10 kilometers from
Belgundi, yes, near Rakaskop.
Rakaskop.
Yeah.
And then they had fields all around. And that's why we are a native of Belgaum only.
Okay.
That's why that is the reason why my grandfather started his practice in Belgaum.
Okay. So your grandfather, and that we can just show a picture of Dr. K.V. Sathe and his wife. They were the first ones, I guess,
Yes.
who he was the first one, in fact, who came into
Correct.
medical practice.
Correct.
Could you tell us about him?
Sure. My grandfather, Dr. Keshav Aman Sathe, hails from Belgaum, as I told you earlier, and he did his schooling in Sardar High School, Belgaum. Later on, he went to Bombay and did his medical graduation from Grand Medical College, Bombay. After which, in the year 1923, after which he came to Belgaum. The same year, he started his private practice in Belgaum in Anand Chain Galli.
Oh, Anand Chengali.
And right from there, that is 23, he practiced for about 42 years up to 1965.
Is it?
Yes.
Continuous 42 years.
42 years.
Oh, wow.
And I must tell you a few things about his practice. In those days, there was a shortage of antibiotics. It was not available. No antibiotic was available when he started his practice.
Okay.
Secondly, the lights were very poor. There used to be very frequent power failures. So most of the time in the evening, he had to use Petromax and rocket lamps for his practice. Because non-availability of antibiotics, and there used to be a lot of infectious diseases like typhoid, cholera, upper respiratory infections, tonsillitis, tuberculosis, for which there was no medicine available. I'll just quote one example. Typhoid was very rampant in Belgaum because drinking water was not that good. It was not chemically treated, and all had their wells. Well water is to get polluted very frequently.
Right.
So what they used to do is 2 things. One is diet, which he discovered this diet for the first time after discussing with the civil surgeon in Belgaum those days. That is, he started using Mosambi juice and freshly prepared buttermilk
Okay.
as a diet for these typhoid patients.
Okay. Okay.
And
Okay.
a very funny type of treatment, I will tell you. He used to dissolve chlorine tablets or chlorine gas ampoules into water and then get it dissolved in that, and that water was used for patients
Okay.
to sterilize the gut. So whatever organisms are in intestine, they will get killed.
Was he a specialist doctor?
He also, in addition to his regular general practice, he also had an interest in ophthalmology,
Okay.
for which he went to Bombay again and did a course in ophthalmology. And during his time in between the 2 dispensaries, he used to go with his own instruments to the patient's house and do cataract operations.
Oh,
which
okay.
which he did for about few years.
It must have been very challenging.
Very
indeed.
challenging.
Yeah.
But he stopped it after a few years.
Okay.
Secondly, he also had an interest in gynecology and obstetrics.
Okay.
That time there are no qualified nursing homes or gynecologists.
Mm-hmm.
So there were 2-3 ayahs, and they had formed something like a small hospital in Maruti Galli. That was called as Gangubai Soni's Hospital.
Mm-hmm.
So whenever they had some difficulty in deliveries, we used to go and help them out and do some social service
Okay.
for these things.
We would like to know more about Dr. K.V. Sathe from Dr. Shashank as well. So, do you have your very special memories of Dr. K.V. Sathe?
Hello, namaskar. Me, Dr. Shashank Sathe. Actually, I have not seen Dr. K.V. Sathe actually in the practice because when I came down to Belgaum, he was almost retired from his medical practice.
Right.
But the way he used to involved in our practicing career or something was a great. But I will say that I completed my graduation from the Grand Medical College, Mumbai.
Okay.
That is in the year 1978. So first 2 years I was working in the Family Planning Association of India as a medical officer in Mumbai.
Okay.
And then I came down to Belgaum. Most important thing is my grandfather, first generation, second generation, Dr. Ashok Sathe, and myself. We three are graduated from the same medical college, that is the Grand Medical College, Mumbai.
Okay.
Then after the 80th, when I came down here, I started my own practice with my uncle, which I used to come in his clinic only in the evening.
Okay.
But the morning time, I used to go around the Belgaum, lot of villages, where I learned a lot of things in the rural medical practice as well as the urban medical practice.
But this is something very special that you decided to practice in the rural areas.
Because say it was my way of understanding about a practice. So I thought that let's go and see how is the peripheral areas of Belgaum.
Right.
And there was no medical aid that time. Medical aid means qualified MBBS doctors around.
Right.
So I think I was the first person going on this Chandor Road side in the number of villages that time.
Okay.
This story I'm telling maybe around 80 to 85, 90 up to that.
Okay.
And then I shifted back to Belgaum and started my own general practice, which I am right now also I'm doing. And a lot of things in this practice I've learned from my uncle, Dr. Ashok Sathe.
Okay.
And the same legacy I have continued right now today also.
Okay. Belgaum is very known to Dr. Ashok Sathe and his accomplishments as an actor, director, a theatre person basically.
Yes.
As well as his interest in sports.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So we would like to know more about him. I wish he was here today. In fact, it didn't become possible.
Yes. In fact, he would have told you many things.
Right.
But it is not possible.
To travel down
But
paths.
he was really a versatile personality, I will call, in the sports, in the trekking, nature walks, which I got the fascination because of him, I can say.
Right.
And he was a dramatic person. Lot of things he has done in Belgaum, particularly संगीत नाट्य बेळगावात त्यांनीच आणलं. बेळगावात त्याचे पुष्कळ कार्यक्रम झाले. And he took the people to Delhi for national competitions for the Marathi dramas.
But has he inherited this from Dr. K.V. Sathe, who himself also was...
Yeah, he used to travel a lot.
Yeah.
And if you ask me about literature, both of them were involved in that. In fact, my grandfather, Dr. K.V. Sathe, started a Vangmay Charcha Mandal in Belgaum.
Okay.
And he was the first rather pioneer in that field, which my uncle continued.
Yes.
Of course, I am not in that field there, but my father, Gajanan Sathe, who was non-doctor but involved in a lot of social services in Belgaum.
Right.
I would like to add a couple of things.
Please.
Yes. Hello, I am Dr. Rahul Sathe, the fourth generation of doctor. And I would like to add a couple of things to my grandfather's practice of Ashok Sathe. As a child, I remember him practice. And believe me, the door of Kadolkar Galli 1950 used to be open throughout the day. Not only for the guests, but also for the patients. There was no way an appointment system or anything.
Okay.
People used to just come down and whatever problem they had, and grandfather was there to help them any time of the hour. I have seen him wake up in the middle of the night and treat patients. So that was something very special, and which has, that legacy has carried forward.
Yeah, right.
And second thing about his dedication towards music was so that every day he used to practice in our hall. He used to do riyaz. And as a 5-year-old child, I used to sit in front of him and listen to him. And very interestingly, I so happened to start calling him as Ahazoba.
Okay, because of the alap that he used to take, perhaps.
And
Okay.
after that, the entire family calls him now Aaz.
Okay.
So
Okay.
these are the two things, I just wanted to add about
Okay.
Ashok Sathe.
Okay.
One more thing I would like to add.
Yeah.
My grandfather's career. In addition to his medical career, he was also interested in dramatics. He actually 1934 साली बेळगावला त्यांनी ऑल इंडिया नाट्य संमेलन अरेंज केलं होतं आणि त्याचे ते स्वागताध्यक्ष होते. हे झालं 1934 मध्ये. त्यानंतर ते टेनिस पण खेळायचे दुपारी खेळामध्ये. दुसरी हॉबी म्हणजे ही हॅड स्टडीड लॉट ऑफ ऍस्ट्रॉलॉजी. उत्तम पत्रिका बघायचे. आमच्या घरातल्या प्रत्येकाची पत्रिका जन्मानंतर त्यांनी करून ठेवली आणि उत्तम भविष्य सांगायचे. म्हणजे असं काय प्रॅक्टिस म्हणून नाही, पण आउट ऑफ हिज इंटरेस्ट यूज टू डू दिस थिंग्स.
Okay. So, Dr. Uday, I want to ask you about your pathology practice at a time when you were synonymous with pathology in Belgaum. When it came to blood tests or routine regular checkups, it was Dr. Uday Sathe's clinic. Please tell us about that.
I took medical career because of my uncle Ashok Sathe.
Okay.
Because right from childhood, I used to see my grandfather and my uncle working in dispensary. So naturally, I had a liking for a medical career.
Right.
After my MBBS, I was thinking whether to go for post-graduation or not. But my uncle was very firm. He said, no, you must go and do some post-graduation. You must add something to the legacy of Dr. Sathe.
Right.
So I also went to Bombay. I did my diploma first and then again MD in pure pathology from again Grand Medical College.
Okay.
So all of us are graduated from
Grand, yeah.
Yes. And I finished my MD pathology in 1977.
Okay.
And the same year I came down to Belgaum and started my practice here.
Okay. In the same place in Kadolkar Gallery. Okay.
Same old house. That time the pathology was not much known, except that the layman and even the medical practitioners used to know pathology means only blood test and biochemistry, blood sugars. But when I came, I had full-fledged pathology in the sense, in addition to this biochemistry and other tests, I was doing biopsies, cancer biopsies.
Okay, cancer detection.
Cancer detection biopsies, cytologies, then usually there are some swelling on the body. So we used to put in a needle and aspirate that swelling, and then we used to get idea about that. This procedure was called as FNAC.
Okay.
That also I started. Then cultures was not being done in Belgaum, only done in medical college then.
Okay.
I was the first one to come and start this microbiology cultures in Belgaum.
Okay, in this lab.
In this lab.
Okay.
And that time the practice was a bit difficult as compared to now because the instruments were very raw.
Right.
There were no fully automated or semi-automated analyzers. There were only manual analyzers, and many of the reagents were not available in market. So I had to invest and prepare all my biochemistry reagents for at least first 6 to 7 years.
Okay. Okay.
And I practiced till for about 45 years.
Okay.
And I retired in 2022.
After the second COVID lockdown. Okay. 2022. Dr. Shashank has varied interests apart from being a doctor himself. He also is into teaching.
Yeah.
And you are very much enthusiastic about hiking. We want to know about your group of hikers.
Yeah, sure. After coming to Belgaum, apart from my practice, I started going to the homeopathy college as a teacher.
Okay.
And I was teaching there a subject called the forensic medicine and clinical medicine.
Okay.
Almost 30-35 years I am doing that in 2 different homeopathy colleges. It was a great experience for me than my practice because almost my students are all over the India now.
Yes, indeed.
And wherever I travel, I do contact with them.
Okay.
So good rapport or relations.
So
are
a
there.
huge network of students must be there.
That is there.
Right.
Along with that, as I said in the beginning, that the nature loving and going for a trek was a hobby of my uncle, my father.
Okay.
With that legacy, I continued.
Okay.
And I started going around Belgaum as well as many places in Maharashtra.
Okay.
And particularly, we started a group for a hiking where the people have got interest to know about the history.
Okay.
And the fort.
So you lead these teams to
I
hiking.
am leading that, and I proudly can say that it is still that activity is going on.
Okay. We are going to come to the 4th generation of the Sathes as doctors, and we have with us a very popular and very intelligent and the forward-looking doctors in this family. That is Dr. Rahul and Dr. Varsha. So Dr. Rahul is known for his service in Rotary, apart from his flourishing dental practice. Dr. Rahul, we want to know more about your legacy. How are you carrying forward this?
4 generations. It sounds very big.
Yeah,
And
it is.
And
It is, in
100
fact.
years.
100 years.
But what makes it even bigger is all the doctors have been practicing right here
In
in
Kadolkar
Kadolkar
Gali.
Gali for 100 years.
Yeah.
This is what makes
Special.
it more special
Yes.
than anything else.
Yes.
And you could say your doctor profession was in my blood itself, because right in the childhood days I was asked by my teachers like what you wanted to do, and the answer would have been come immediately.
What else?
Doctor. As the inspiration was drawn from my house itself,
Right.
from the legacy of my great grandfather, grandfather,
Your
my
father,
my
uncle. Yeah.
So there was no second thought.
Hmm.
And I chose to become a dentist by profession, and healing was something I wanted to do in life.
Okay.
So
Okay.
that way I joined dentistry
Yes.
in the year 1994.
Okay.
So since then I've been practicing dentistry for almost now 21 years
Oh, wow.
in Belagavi.
Dr. Rahul, we want to know more about, firstly, to Rotary. Definitely, yes. You have been an accomplished, you have been an awarded, much decorated Rotary president, secretary, everything. But more focus I want to give on your new, the microscopic surgery that you have launched, where I think you
Yeah.
do the single sitting root
Yeah.
canal. We want to know more because everybody is dreaded of the root canal.
Friends, root canal is one of the most feared treatments in dentistry. But since advent of latest equipments and technologies, nowadays we perform root canals in just a single visit.
That's it.
That's it. And
Okay.
that too just 45 minutes.
Oh my God. That's a blessing for all of us.
So, and this comes with magnification.
Okay.
Magnification is using dental loops, and now we are using operating microscope.
Okay.
What
So you
does that-
actually use a microscope?
Microscope.
Oh wow.
So what does that do is it gives us a larger vision, a more clarity of the field of working, and more precision.
Okay.
So now precision is equal to quality of work
Yes.
and final outcome of the results.
How do you see my tooth if you are to operate using a microscope? You see it on a bigger screen?
Yeah, you could always project it on a screen
Okay.
as well as capture those images on camera, digital camera, and you could now even record your procedures and give it to you if you want.
Wow. That's
That was the
fantastic.
magnification.
Is this for the first time available
I
like
think
this
so.
in
There are
Belgaum?
very few people involved in microdentistry as
Okay.
of now in Belgaum, and even I can say throughout India.
So you
Very
did
few.
you have to take special training for
Yeah,
this?
I did.
Okay.
I did take special training in microdentistry
Okay.
at Dharwad,
Oh, okay.
and that's where from I started the journey of microdentistry.
Okay. So now also anytime people can come book an appointment for this.
they
Okay.
can.
Is this also useful for other procedures apart from
Yeah.
root canal?
Yeah, they can be used for any procedures that
Okay.
requires superior precision.
Okay. Okay.
So wherever you require precision, we definitely will use magnification. And these are the latest areas of dentistry where people actually have no idea about. So that's why this small input and
Right,
into the
right.
world of microdentistry.
Dr. Rahul is also a Rotarian, as we have been saying, and an accomplished one at that. You are also a member of the Masonic Lodge.
Yes.
So please tell us more about how this legacy of social service also you're carrying forward.
Yeah, I think that also comes through. You can say the genetic and the
Okay.
the bloodstream.
Inherited it. Yeah.
So I joined the Rotary movement about 21 years back.
Oh, okay.
Apart from my hobbies and my work,
So it coincides with your starting your dental
absolutely,
practice.
Absolutely. The first year of my practice, I joined dentistry.
Okay.
As I joined Rotary, and then since then I've been part of this organization for past 21 years. Took all the posts in Rotary, and last year I was an assistant governor for the district 3170,
Okay.
and it was a very enriching experience.
Okay.
I always felt Rotary could be a platform where I could give back to the society.
Right.
And I
Definitely.
did all throughout these years.
Yeah.
And coming back to presidentship, it was a wonderful year as a president.
Okay.
Did a lot many projects, but ultimately what I felt was it is more of a management degree in itself, where you get to manage time,
Yes.
energy,
Resources.
money, resources, and finally people.
Yeah.
And people, not only regular ordinary people, these people are leaders in their vocations and
Okay.
professions.
Okay.
So managing them at that level, and getting good work done
Right.
was a phenomenal experience for me.
Right. You are also into caricature. You are a bird photography enthusiast. Please tell us about that. Do you also hike? Do you also go hiking and trekking like your uncle?
Many people ask me how many hobbies you have. I say I change my hobbies every 2 years.
Oh my God.
And keep on learning new things.
Yeah.
Basically, I want to learn new things and do new things every time.
Okay.
So I have been doing gardening at my house.
Okay.
I have vegetables, flowers, and fruits planted at my terrace garden. And it so happened that birds started visiting my garden. And then I started feeding them. And I started providing them water bath and water for drinking. And the number grew. And that's why how my passion towards bird photography and ornithology started. And since then I've been doing bird photography and wildlife photography.
Do you travel also for that purpose?
I travel. Last
Okay.
few months back I'd been to Jaisalmer.
Oh.
Actually, the desert of separating India and Pakistan. We are just a few hundred kilometers from the international border. Where then we have went there to photograph a very rare bird, which is called as the great Indian bustard.
Bustard, yes.
There are only a few hundred left,
Right.
and we were lucky to photograph these birds.
They're endangered species
Endangered
as
species.
well. Yeah.
I would like to add.
Yes,
that
I'm going to come to you, Dr. Varsha.
They went on a road trip. from
Okay,
here,
okay.
And they went to 4 states, and they also gave the message for polio.
Okay, okay.
It was.
So it was Rotary
As well.
and your.
he will bring Rotary and everything.
Yes, you want to add something? Yes, please.
I want to add, as Dr. Rahul said, as a general practitioner or as a family physician, I am doing lot of health awareness program in and around Belagavi industries,
Yes,
Udyambad.
yes.
And I'm associated with last almost 35 years with the Hindalco company
Okay.
as a visiting doctor, and there also I'm doing lot of this type of health awareness program
Yeah, for the employees.
for the employees.
Yeah, I think Dr. Varsha is going to carry it forward. We have with us Dr. Varsha Sathe as well, who is an accomplished dentist. Dr. Varsha, you are from Nagpur. If you want to know more about how you came to Belgaum and how was this experience of joining the illustrious Sathes, and mainly about your growing up in Nagpur.
I am born and brought up in Nagpur, completed my graduation there, and my father is a lawyer. And my mother, though she is a postgraduate in zoology, she is also a lawyer. She is a homemaker by choice.
Okay.
During all my childhood, I saw my parents active in various social organizations like
Okay.
Vidya Bharati, Bharatiya Vidyarthi Parishad, then Sevangur. So that made a very deep impact on me
Right.
as a growing up.
Right.
And they always taught us through example that we should give back to the society.
Yeah.
So that, along with my sister, who is the first doctor from our family,
Okay.
I followed her footsteps and I decided to become a doctor. I wanted to be a doctor. Okay, dentist is,
Yeah, that's also
is what I
service.
choose to become.
Yeah.
So that's how I became a doctor.
Coming to Belgaum.
Yes.
Nagpur is very far away.
Yes. Coming to Belgaum, I got married at age of 22.
Okay.
And it brought me to family of Sathes. And being surrounded by so many doctors was an experience because Bakshis are a family of engineers.
Okay.
So, but being a Sathe for 20 years now, I feel I have learned all my private practice from them.
Okay.
And Sathes as doctors is an institution in itself.
Right.
You
are
can
right.
learn a lot about the clinical practice.
Each one of them
Exactly.
is an institution.
Exactly. And it is, some things are common to all of them.
Okay.
They are all very particular about the way they practice.
Okay.
They all are very personally connected to their patients.
Okay.
And thirdly, they're all very ethical and they will try to give the treatment which is minimalistic or conservative, I'll say, which will have lesser medicines,
Okay.
lesser procedures. So the patients are more comfortable.
Okay.
And that's what I try to follow in my practice. So that is why the preventive and all is there.
You started your clinic in Bhagyanagar as an extension of this city center.
Yeah.
What you had. Tell us more. Why Bhagyanagar and how did you think about having another setup there?
I started my practice with Dr. Rahul in
Okay.
this very place.
Yeah.
At the time, I was also visiting faculty in local self-government for some of the courses. So that's what attracted me towards the community health and the prevention in prevention, role of prevention
Preventive care.
and
Yeah.
health education in prevention of diseases.
Okay.
So I took up a diploma in nutrition, health education, early childhood care.
Okay.
And I was working in Maratha Manda also for some
Okay.
time. And then I opened the practice in 2013, Care Dental Clinic, with the main focus on prevention. And we have been doing the preventive care for kids since now 10 years. And that is the most satisfying aspect of my practice because I have got amazing results.
Yeah. Okay.
And working with tiny tots and their parents is just
So
very
pediatric dentistry is something which you love to do,
Yes.
and your clinic in Bhagyanagar is such a peppy place. It's so happy, and you feel so much at ease. And
That-
I can imagine how it would be for the kids. You are also into awareness, and now you are launching some innovative programs on the occasion of your centenary year of this
Yes.
medical service of the whole family.
that's true.
Could you please tell us about that?
So, Dr. Rahul joined Rotary in 2003, same year as we got married. So
Okay.
I said, okay, he brings Rotary in everything. And I joined Innerwheel in 2014.
Okay.
Through both these organizations, we have been conducting oral health awareness programs,
Okay.
especially for oral cancer screening and the preventive care for the kids. So that gave us proof for the what plans we have launched for our centenary celebration. They are being launched last year on Doctor's Day. We have a AMC plan for the maintenance of oral health for both adults and kids. We have a preschool plan.
Okay.
We have a corporate oral health wellness plan. So all these plans we are running since 1 year, and we got a very good response through that. And the aim of all these plans is reducing the dental expenses in the
Yes.
long run, because all we know that everybody is scared not only of dentists but the expenses, the bill you
Yes,
get at
and
the end of the
perhaps
treatment.
that is why they hesitate to approach in time, maybe.
So the aim here is making that good treatments accessible and affordable to the society. Another
Okay.
plan which gave us immense satisfaction is called as Jan Dhan Yojana,
Okay.
where it is our social benefit plan,
Okay.
where the aim was of treating 100 patients
Huh.
at an affordable rate as a part
Okay.
of our centenary celebration.
Oh, wow.
And I'm happy that we have crossed 250.
Oh my God. So you've exceeded your own expectations as well.
And I'm going to continue it because that is one plan which
Yeah.
has given me the satisfaction I was looking for
Yes.
when I became a healthcare professional.
Yeah. So what you are in effect telling is that these plans, annual dental maintenance plans that you have are especially targeted towards kids as well as for employers, for their employees.
Yes.
So any corporate firm, any factory, any industry can enroll for such
Yes.
plans on behalf of their employees.
Yes.
And any school or institution for their students.
Exactly.
Am I right?
Yeah.
Okay. And how will it roll out? Like, do they have to enlist all of their employees and come for checkup, and how do they get the benefit?
We tried to do it comfortable for more.
Okay.
More for them. So
Okay.
we go to their premises.
Okay.
We create awareness.
Okay.
If any of them require the treatment, they can always visit us. And
Okay.
it is, since we are having that corporate plan, they are part
Okay.
of that plan.
Yeah.
They'll get it at the scheme is there, the plan is there. So they'll get little benefit in the treatment.
Okay.
That is how it is there.
So coming from Dr. K.V. Sathe, who practiced using, as you said, Petromax lamps, and now you are having a microscope that's going to help you with, I think, a light that is 1,00,000 times more than a normal.
Absolutely.
Yes,
Right?
Absolutely.
that's
And-
true.
So it has come 1,00,000 steps ahead, perhaps.
And one of the most interesting thing is the microscope is placed at the very place where my great grandfather used to sit
Oh,
with a candle and
Petromax.
Petromax. So
So you're using
my-
1,00,000 lux light today.
yeah, and candle has one lux.
1 lux. Oh my
So you
God.
can believe how much difference it has made.
So that is a proper, you can say, a visibility of that
Absolutely.
visible change that has happened.
Absolutely.
I want to come back to Dr. Uday Sathe. Did you envision that this legacy would be carried so far, and how do you both are the link between the past and
Correct, correct.
the future?
We are the third generation doctor.
You are third, so you had your previous 2 generations. We have spoken very less about Dr. Ashok Sathe also. I wish he would be able to come here. But how do you see the linking the 2 generations, and now your kids growing up?
When I decided to become a doctor and started practicing here, my plan was to whether my son, by the way, I'll just mention a thing. He had got an admission in Grand Medical College, Bombay, on by merit in his border seat,
Okay.
which he did not take
Why?
Love for dentistry.
because he had a love for
Oh
dentistry.
my God.
He had to refuse that seat.
This is unheard of. You know? Somebody rejecting.
Otherwise, it is a fourth generation grand medical.
Yes.
When he refused that, then I realized that he is not going to join my line.
Huh.
And then subsequently, his wife also became a dentist because he wanted only a dentist wife.
Okay.
So there was
Okay.
nobody to carry out my pathology practice.
Right.
So that I had to close down at the end of my career.
Okay.
Because, there is nobody to take in the practice. Regarding Dr. Ashok Sathe, I would like to mention two more things. One is his love for classical music.
Yes.
Since almost about 15 to 20 years, he was practicing here. He used to recite. Boa used to come. Pachabolgar Boa Joshi was his teacher. And he, twice a week in the morning, or 2 hours, he used to recite. That was his passion.
So he learned from Bua for a long time.
Yes, from Pachabolgar
Okay.
Boa Joshi.
So Gangubai Hangalji also would have been his Guru Bhagini, perhaps?
Maybe, perhaps.
Yeah.
She was. She mentioned it.
Yes. Oh, she has
Actually,
visited
we
this
had a
house.
lot of people visited here during their time also.
Okay.
And lot of famous, I could say, right from Nachikarkar's time.
Oh, okay.
Atre, Baba Saheb Purandare.
They stayed here in this house. So
And
that's
it
a
was such
historical
nice,
significance.
experience for all of us to
Yeah.
know these personalities.
Especially Babasaheb Purandare, because you were गड किल्ल्यांची तुम्हाला पण खूप आवड आहे.
हो अगदी
तीनदा इथं त्यांनी लेक्चर सिरीज केली.
बेळगावमध्ये जी
Okay.
पहिले जाणता राजाचा कार्यक्रम झाला तो
Okay.
इथे आमच्या घरीच राहिले होते
Oh.
आणि वी ऑल वेर इन्व्हॉल्ड इन दॅट प्रोग्राम.
Okay. So, coming to Dr. Varsha, what next? That is a pertinent question. Ki what next? You have come so far from 1 lux to a lakh of lux, and shockingly for me that you left your MBBS seat and took up your
There are
dental.
very few people like me.
Very few
He
people.
is in love with dentistry.
So he's a hardcore dentist, you know,
Yes.
die hard.
Yes.
So what next?
Yes.
What's in pipeline?
When I started the centenary celebration, I'd started like 100 years, and we should do something.
Yeah.
Now, 100 years, I feel it's just the beginning.
Just a milestone.
Yeah, just a beginning. And let's get ahead. And we are very soon starting with the project
Okay.
where we are going beyond oral health and we are going towards the all other health care.
Okay.
And we are coming up with the project very soon where we'll form a group of health professionals.
Okay.
Through the awareness, we will try to build the healthcare system, which is preventive first, and if needed, it should be affordable to the people.
Yeah.
And in the process, if at all we are able to establish Belagavi as a center for medical tourism, that is what our long-term aim is.
That's lovely. That's going to definitely add value to Belgaum. Already it is great.
Yes.
It's going to become much more coveted, I think, for medical treatment, dental treatment in effect. What are your hobbies? We have seen you at social forums. You've been so active through Inner Wheel. Tell us more about your hobbies.
My hobby, if you say hobby, passion is doing something for the society. That is the
Okay.
first time, my
So
first
that's-
true love,
yeah.
which I learned from maybe my
But apart
family.
from that, how do you unwind?
I love to dance.
Okay.
I'm more interested in folk and semi-classical
Okay.
kind of dance.
Have you learned?
In the beginning, I did learn
Okay.
as a child,
Okay.
but it was very short. But
Okay.
post-marriage, I've been going to the dance class,
Okay.
and we are starting it again. I took a break for COVID.
Okay.
I love food. He is a very good cook. I love food, so I'm there.
What
So
kind of cuisine do you both enjoy?
all types
okay.
of cuisine, and we have a group called Foodies,
Okay.
and we try these different restaurants in Belgaum and
Oh,
around, and we
okay.
write a review on it.
Is it?
And,
Where do you publish it?
we have a page.
You have. Okay.
We have
okay.
a page, and we publish it on our social medias.
Okay.
And what more? I like to read. All those things are
Do you also share his passion for traveling, photography?
no photography is all he says. I am his model.
Okay, his muse and his model.
Yeah, and whatever, I always feel that Sathe is another thing which is common for them. They do n number of things, but they are not vocal about it.
Okay.
So I am their voice.
They don't like to trumpet their achievements,
No,
but
never.
see, when greatness happens, you don't have to show, it is seen.
Exactly.
It is seen by others, it is felt by Belgaum, and Belgaum is going to be indebted to the Sathe family because I guess in effect, whether it is through Dr. K.V. Sathe as an ophthalmologist, as a gynecologist, who struggled with his instruments, resources, as you said, there were no antibiotics as well. Coming down to your practice as a pathologist, again, you said that time there were no much technology available for detection, and the cultures and reagents were not available. And to you who preferred to go and serve in the rural areas before you came back to the city, and your teaching experience and your expeditions to the mountains, and the next generation here that we are sitting with, that is Dr. Rahul and Dr. Varsha, who have taken it, I think, a few notches ahead. You're using modern technology. He's brought in the microscope for his dental practice, and Dr. Varsha is bringing out the AMC plans for kids and the industries. They are not resting for a moment. We can see here that this family is always into something, whether it is theater, whether it is expeditions, whether it's bird photography. And we wish you all the best and congratulations for this 100 years.
One more thing I would like to add.
Please,
Not
sir.
getting delayed.
Please, please.
Two things in again Sathe family.
Yes.
My uncle, myself, and now Rahul, we're all Freemasons.
Yes. Yes.
There is another that is
Yes.
continuing for third generation.
Yeah, third
Secondly,
generation.
My father also was an active Rotarian. I
Okay.
also was a Rotarian for some time.
Okay.
And now he is carrying out the legacy.
Yes.
So these two things, that is being in Rotary for 3 generations and also being a Freemason.
That is also in effect, I think somewhere it's an
I
accomplishment.
am also Freemason.
He also is a Freemason.
Okay.
We are a member in this thing, Lodge Victoria.
Lodge Victoria.
I'm member in Lodge Cataract.
Lodge Cataract. This is
Okay.
our is Indian constituency. Here, there is
Scottish.
Scottish
Okay,
constituency.
okay. You want to add something about that? Yes, please.
Now, I would like to thank all about Belgaum for coming over here, giving your precious time, and covering our family legacy. Thank you so much,
Yes.
and congratulations,
We are
Uday,
privileged.
for 16 years of wonderful work that you have been doing relentlessly. Absolutely fabulous. And also thank you for having conducted this small short program and made us so very comfortable.
Yeah, very
Thank you so much.
There's so much more to know. It's actually the whole is more than the sum of the parts, as they say. If we add up all your accomplishments, it's going to become a great legacy for the city of Belgaum. So I'm here with the Sathes today. The 2 generations are with me. We will come back again with yet another episode of Small Town Big Stories, where we chronicle the success stories of Belgaum, unheard, unseen, but yes, definitely to be cherished, like the story of the centenary of the Sathe family. Thank you so much. Have a nice day.
Thank you.
Thank you.